Good morning and welcome to yet another edition of Litter Media Live. This is a special edition and we have Erin Givens with us. Hi.
Hi.
Good to have you here today. We're going to talk about the Paper City Mentoring Program and also a couple of events you've got coming up.
Yes, it's a busy December.
Indeed. So sit close for that. Coming up right after these words from our friends at Andy Tomlinson. Actually, it's Tomlinson Insurance Agency.
I think so, yeah.
Andy's the spokesperson, so we'll let him tell you more.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Thank you, sir. Now, let's get into what's going on with the Paper City Mentoring Project. Thank you. You know, I've been talking
PCMP.
a long time in my life, and for some reason, the words just don't come together sometimes.
That happens. It's acceptable.
First, let's talk about the program.
Okay.
Because we've got some events that are coming up that help fund the program. But what we really want to get into first is, what is it all about? Where did this start for you?
Well, for me, it started about 5 years ago, but the program started about 6 years ago with two teachers that they saw a need in their high school classrooms. It's really tough to be a teenager anyway, and then as the world started evolving, it's even more tough. So these teachers took it into their own hands, and thus was born Paper City Coffee and Paper City Mentoring Project. They're technically two separate entities, but it's a do-good type of situation that we cannot exist without each other. Yeah. So the coffee shop is there for the community to enjoy, lots of wonderful coffee and wonderful baked goods as well.
In fact, you've got product in your hand. Right
yes,
here,
yeah.
So.
And then the mentoring side, we exist to connect Ross County teenagers with dedicated volunteer mentors. We train these mentors to essentially be a friend. We don't want... The teenagers don't need another parent. They don't need another teacher or doctor. They need someone else in their corner advocating for them, listening to what the teenager wants, and then also how to execute getting to there, getting through that process. So that's what we do to help facilitate that.
I know we have a mentoring agency here for the younger kids. That's Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Central Ohio. You and I have both been involved with them
Absolutely.
over the years. But for those kids who may be a little too old for that, or perhaps they haven't gotten in early enough, this is the perfect thing, I think, for them. They get a chance to be with an individual, like you said, that's not a parent. But I know for the younger kids, Big Brothers Big Sisters, it's usually a 2-hour-a-week commitment. What is it for Paper City?
So you are absolutely correct. Big Brothers Big Sisters is a wonderful addition to Chill Coffee and a very needed. Mentoring in general is all around us, and I don't think we even think of it that way. But our specific program, we pick up only in high school. So if they haven't been a part of the Big Brothers Big Sisters, or they're just finding themselves in a point in life that they need someone else in their corner, don't we all? We'll match them. So for the commitment, we ask for about 1 hour a week. That's both from the mentor and the mentee. Now working with high schoolers, they're involved in other things. They're busy scheduling, driving, not driving. It gets a little bit more complicated, but that's the beauty of our program, is that it allows for that open communication between the mentor, the teenager, and the guardian. So we have some of our duos that meet every Tuesday at 4:00, and they'll do that. We have others that they're busy, so every other Saturday for 2 hours. And then we have others that they genuinely enjoy and love and have the time to be together. So they're more times than not, I see them together in or out of the shop.
Right.
So our program allows for that flexibility. The most important thing to us is showing up. We want to make sure that our matches are meeting consistently and through open communication.
I have watched this from afar, and I want to say, is it 4 years old, 5 years old, or is it older?
It's 6.
Is it 6
years
years
is,
now?
yeah.
Wow. And so I think quietly for a lot of folks, maybe they're still learning about who the Paper City
Absolutely.
Mentoring Project is and what you're doing. Do you have a long waiting list to match some of these high schoolers with a mentor?
Currently, we actually do not, which is a huge win for where we are. That means that we've had lots of volunteer mentors, but also teens willing to take a chance, or they want someone else in their lives. We've found that forcing someone to do something, participating in a program, or just doing anything, it's not going to work. Yeah. We want this to be a mutually understood situation that they're in the driver's seat. Our teenagers are. So if you want to be a part of the program, we would love to have you. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you have to. So we've been very fortunate in the last few months that we've been able to match quite a few teens. And then another addition that we've just added, which is a little bit less commitment, but also exciting for teenagers in our area, is we've added group mentoring to our program. This is a much less commitment. Like I said, it's once a month. We meet at the coffee shop and we talk about a specific life skill. You don't have to RSVP. You can bring one friend. You can bring 15 friends. And you just come, you hang out, you eat for free.
That's a drawing card right there.
And we bring in someone from the community to talk about something that will benefit our teenagers well past high school or as they start to build their own lives. And that's been a really great addition. And through that, we've actually gotten a lot of teens that have said, you know what, I really do think that I want someone else advocating for me. I want someone else to help me achieve the life that I really want to live.
You've been with the program for 2 years now. What have you seen as an evolution so far? Has it taken off like you thought it might? Have you been surprised at how things have worked out?
I think there's a surprise in every day.
Yeah.
But with COVID in the last couple of years, the entire world has changed.
Right.
So I think what the program set out to do from its beginning, it's definitely achieving that. But I've been surprised by the generosity of our community and the fostering of believing in our teenagers as the next generation of Chillicothe. And they want to support, and even from the sidelines, they want it to succeed. They want our teenagers to know that they are seen, they are valuable, and there's infinite potential for them. So we've been ebbing and flowing, just like the rest of the world in the last couple of years. But in the end, I think now more than ever, we see and know the value in what we are doing. So whether we are reaching one teenager or 500 teenagers, our mission is important and we need to continue doing it.
A lot of times if you reach one, that should be a reason
Absolutely.
to raise the flag and say yes.
Mm-hmm. Actually, a lot of our decisions are based off of that. Will this benefit at least one person? And if the answer is yes and we're able to make it happen, then we are all for it.
I recently had a chance to catch up with some of the mentors in my life, and one was from when I was in high school, and the other was a high school teacher where I went to school, but we didn't interact at all. And later in life, he became a mentor to me. Mm-hmm. And to sit down with those individuals and give them some appreciation, because when you're going through the process, sometimes you just don't get it.
Yeah.
But later in life, that light bulb goes off. And I think sometimes even in some of your matches, you may have seen a light bulb go off for
Absolutely.
some of these kids.
Like I said, mentoring is really happening all around. We just put a label to it. But just like you said, your teachers or people that you've come across in your career, they've helped and guided you. And, when we sit down and meet with our teenagers, essentially, some of them are all for it from the get-go, and that's really exciting. But others, they hear that label, they hear mentoring, and they think, oh, they're going to tell me what to do, or that's not true. So it's really fun when you start to see those relationships really start to blossom. They'll meet at the shop and they're going through the motions, and then a couple weeks later you realize that their body language is different. They're way more comfortable. They're understanding that this person is actually just here to be in my life. they genuinely want to be here. They are encouraging to me. And really, we found that the teenagers are just as helpful for the mentors. Both parties are learning about each other along the way, which in turn benefits their own lives.
I've often heard the story from many who give a testimony about being involved with something like this, that, you know what, I got into it hoping to help somebody, but man, they helped me.
Absolutely. And that it's a real full circle moment when that happens. And usually it's well after the fact, that they've started meeting, or sometimes even after the match has graduated, they'll come back and say, you know what, I still think about this teenager and what they've done for me. So
did you have mentors in your life? Was it a moment where like, oh man, yeah.
I still have those moments every day. It is, as you hit different stages of your life, you start pulling from your past experiences or people that you've come across in life. And it's exactly that light bulb moment of, what would this person do? And sometimes you reach out, or sometimes you just think about, how you witnessed them navigate that situation or that season of their life. And you realize that you have been impacted most of the time very greatly by the mentors in your life, whether you knew it at that time or not.
Yeah. It helps to talk through things as well. And if you have someone who has experienced something that you're going through, that can be very therapeutic. And I have a number of people in my life who have been spiritual. I call them pillars. They are the people who created part of the foundation for who I am. And, I didn't see that when I was 20 something. I didn't see it until I started becoming 30 something, 40 something. And I'm like, man, I am who I am because of so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so. And this is something that we hope that the kids that are participating will catch on to and perhaps be a mentor to one of their peers.
The ripple effect really is it's a thing. And whether actually some of our teenagers already, they are impacting other people's lives and don't even realize it, just by using the skills or the foundations that they are building themselves. The mentors are just there as a guidance. They are helping our teenagers find their potential. And when the teenagers find that, just by their day-to-day activities, they are already impacting other people. And that ripple effect, it just continues. So our hope is that for generations to come, that will continue as well.
One thing I've seen out of the mentoring stages is, especially if you have someone who is just very recluse and they don't want to interact, seeing a kid come out of their shell for the first time and then becoming a different person because of that, that is what this is all about.
In our commitment, we ask for our mentors to commit to 2 years. And that's a huge, when you think about it, like, wow, that's a big part of my life. But we do that intentionally for that reason, because we don't want to force that trust. We want it to be organic. That has to come from truly understanding and trusting. So a lot of the matches do start off very, let's talk about the weather. How's that cinnamon roll? Did you see it's as big as your face? Just very on the surface type of conversation. But as they start to build that trust, build that mentoring relationship, they do start coming out of their shell. They start sharing things that are very important to them, or being vulnerable with their mentor in hopes that they won't judge them. They won't, push them to do X, Y, Z. It's more of embracing, this is where you are, and I'm proud of you for sharing that with me. I'm very honored, and let's take that and let's run with it. Let's move on. So watching all of those personalities really show, it really is one of the coolest parts of my job.
One of my granddaughters was in the early stages of this project. And when you said 6 years, I thought, oh my, it has been 6 years. And her mentor was Chelsea Bruning. And Chelsea and I have known each other for a long time, but what a relationship those two began to build. And, now she's a mother, and everything. Time goes by so quickly. And, that 2 year commitment, you invest some time in someone, And when it comes to an end, when that commitment comes to an end, sometimes it may last going on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know Karen McDonald Myers or not.
I don't think so.
Karen is a former executive director of the Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Central Ohio. And she has a little sister from when she was a big sister, and they have kept in touch throughout their lives. So we're talking probably 35, 40 years now. And that's the kind of building that you can have from having a mentor.
Absolutely. And that is actually a lot of our matches, even after they graduate, they are no longer part of our program. But many of them keep in contact in some way, shape, or form with their mentor from the program. And that's a testament to what time, energy, and just truly building a lasting relationship can do for someone. They may not talk every day or even every month, but just checking in, no different than you do with your mentors, or, reflecting back on. Those people have influenced you in a positive way, and their life is changed because of that.
Yeah, and you can do that in an hour's time a week. That's the incredible thing. And you'll probably want to spend more time. As you become friends, you end up spending more time together. But take a moment to think, or you sit down and watch an episode of Yellowstone, and time flies by. Well, you could do that and be productive by helping a teenager.
Absolutely. And you get to do it on your own time and in your own way, and drinking great coffee at the same time. So it's win-win for everybody.
And I'm not suggesting that you sit down with your mentee and watch Yellowstone.
Oh, you could, or you can talk about it. There's an infinite amount of things that you can talk about.
Just using it as an example. So,
but anything that you're doing with your time, if it can influence just one person, right. Whether that's being a part of our program or just investing it within the community, or someone that you have seen may need another friend, someone else in their corner. We find that a lot of teenagers or even adults feel like the program is for a very specific type of person. And that's not true at all. Here I am well into my adulthood, and I still need an entire corner of people to make it through every day, or to, advance my own life. So it is not one specific type of person that needs a mentor or can be a mentor. If you want to make a difference, if you want to be a part of another person's life and feel like you can do that in a positive way, both the teenager and the mentor, there's room for you. We would love to have you at our program, but there's room for you within the community to do that good.
In the 30s and the 40s and 50s, we had such a social network, so to speak, of front porch, sit down, talk, and everything, and we don't have that in the neighborhoods anymore. For whatever reason, I don't know if it's because of TVs coming along and everyone started just sojourning in their homes, but with that being said, it gives you a reason to be involved in someone's life.
Absolutely. Have
them involved in your life, and not be, like I said earlier, a recluse in which you just don't want to. And you can have friendships from long distance through social media now, no problem there, but being with someone, talking to them.
Technology is wonderful.
It's much different.
It's bridged a lot of gaps.
Yeah.
But there's something to be said for that face-to-face, real person interaction.
I think we learned that during the pandemic.
Absolutely. I think I said it earlier, but now more than ever, our mission is important. We want to be with people. People are designed to have people. And we want to start building that infrastructure in each of our teenagers' lives.
Let's talk a little more business, so to speak.
All right, let's do it.
Usually things like this come about by grant funding, by donations, and so on and so forth. How is the mentoring project funded?
We are no different than that. We are a registered 501c3, so we are a nonprofit organization. We are very fortunate that we have Paper City Coffee to work out of, so they give a lot of in-kind donations to our program, both in coffee and food for our teenagers, but we use their space to operate out of. But All of our funding does come from grants and the donations and generosity of our community.
And if I want to be a mentor, do I go through a background check, that kind of thing?
Absolutely. We are working with minors, and it is very important to us that they are safe. And we go through all of the proper processes to ensure their safety. So each of our mentors not only go through training, but they also have a background check. And those background checks cost money.
Right.
The program to operate as a 501c3, there's costs involved with that. We have different programs within PCMP, one being, off the top of my head, PCMP drives. So if our teenagers that are matched with a mentor meet 3 criteria, we will pay for their driver's education in full. And our hope in doing that is that it will get them one step closer to life post-graduation, to a job, to training, to university, anything that they want. We want to give them that opportunity to do that.
I think in my years of sitting and talking with mentoring type circumstances, even through like 4-H, a number of kids who go on to a job interview are better prepared because of some of the experiences they've had through mentoring.
Mm-hmm. And we want to equip all teenagers with those skills to be able to fulfill the life that they want. You know, as a kid, you're always told you can be whatever you want. And that's true, but there's lots of processes involved in that. And some you have to learn the hard way. There's no doubt about that. But if you can pull off of experiences or different involvements along with different people that you've met along the way, we want to try to ease that so that the life that they want really is obtainable.
Now back to funding. You've got an event coming up this Sunday.
We do, and it's actually a fun one.
Yeah.
We have the Merry Maker Fair on Sunday, December 4th, and it will be held within the Pump House, so it's down in Yaktangi Park. And we will be shopping we have a few more early bird tickets, which starts at 1, and then general admission starts at 2 until 5.
Now this is a spinoff of an earlier program.
The Maker Fair, which has been in fruition for quite a few years now. That's our September event, and we do that outside, but I'm not one for the cold. So we're bringing the Merry Maker Fair inside. So like I said, it will be inside the Pump House, and it's on a much smaller scale than the Maker Fair that was in September. We have right around 10 vendors, so that'll be upstairs and downstairs. And a fun part that we are adding to it is that we have Schmidt's food truck coming as well. So it'll be set up right outside of the Pump House, and Paper City Coffee will also be set up to caffeinate.
Can we ice skate while this is going on?
You sure can. The Mighty Children's Museum has their seasonal ice rink set up. It is in the parking lot of the Pump House, and they will be there during those same times. It's $5 to skate, and you can make an entire Hallmark day out of shopping for goods and eating a cream puff, which they say they are bringing a Christmas cookie cream puff.
Is that right?
Yeah, so I'm actually really excited for that.
Didn't know that was available.
So when you
through
see me
Schmidt's.
stuffing my face with one when you come shop, just
You'll see her wiping her mouth.
make sure you bring a napkin for me.
Now this gives us a chance to segue because you are on the board for the Mighty Children's Museum as well. And we wanted to talk about the Polar Express event, which is coming back to Yaktangi Park.
It absolutely is. It will be on December 16th, which is a Friday. And there is a lot going to go on that day. Tickets are available on Eventbrite, and it's $25 for you to experience. I even had to take notes because there's so much. There's going to be live reindeer. The train will be there for a train ride. The Grinch, Santa, skating, an interactive snow globe. They're going to have the whole 9 set up. So if you want to talk about a Christmas experience all in one spot, that's for you.
And this begins at what time and runs until when?
So it starts at 5. Like I said, I had to reference my notes because the reindeer, Santa, and the Grinch starts at 5. Okay. The train ride starts at 6. And you can skate anywhere from 4 to 9. that evening.
And at 6, doggone it, it's dark enough to look and enjoy all the lights.
Absolutely.
In
And Yaktangi Park is looking beautiful and very, very festive. So
Shainan Chillicothe has done a great job. And the many people who helped fund that, thank you, because it's a joy. I was coming back from a ball game the other night, and as I was coming down Yaktangi Boulevard, just the reflection off of the lake, it just adds extra to it.
Oh, it does. You cannot drive through or near the park and not feel that Christmas joy.
Yeah, it's been hallmark since November 21st. So anything that we have missed, you wanted to make sure people knew?
All of these events will be happening at the pump house. So it's set up in the parking lot, but then both to skate and to shop at the Merrymaker Fair, you'll go inside the pump house. We'll be all set up in there, and we'll direct you to whatever you are feeling first, and then we'd love to have you partake in both. These opportunities are such a wonderful addition to our community, but it's also, we want the families to be involved. So all ages can partake. We'd love to have you and, just make a whole day of it. Downtown is all festive as well. There's lots of wonderful people that are working incredibly hard this season for their own families, but for the overall experience of everybody participating.
Very good. I've appreciated the extra time to sit down and talk. We talked a little bit
face-to-face stuff. See,
yeah. We talked a little bit during the Dance for Kids' Sake event, and so we didn't talk this long, but it was nice to get a chance to visit with you. And
I really
learn more
enjoyed
about
it.
you. So thank you, Erin Givens. You can find out more about the Paper City Mentoring Project when you click on the link here in this post. But also, do you have a website?
papercitymentoringproject.org, and also on our Facebook. If you reach out to us, we'll get right back to you. Or you can always email me at Erin@papercitymentoringproject.org.
Very good. Thank you again for coming in.
Thank you.